Every day, millions drive up to a McDonald's, pay $10, and think they are simply getting an inexpensive fast meal. However, beneath those heat lamps is one of the most advanced chemical and biological traps ever devised. Take the iconic Big Mac, and it has 9 grams of added sugar, which is almost what you'll find in a glazed donut. Eating refined carbs laced with hidden sugars will send your blood glucose through the roof, and your pancreas releases a tidal wave of insulin to wash it out. An hour and a half later, your blood sugar hits the floor. This rapid drop is misperceived by your brain as starvation, which leads you to become super hungry again, and makes it so that all too often you're back at the fridge or drive-thru. And that's just the burger. What they're doing to the fries is even worse. If you look at McDonald's nutrition sheet, it proudly claims their world-famous fries contain 0 grams of trans fat. But here's the catch. FDA regulations allow any company to list 0 grams trans fat as long as the serving contains less than 0.5 grams, and that's the legal loophole. A large order of fries, combined with other fried items, exposes you to fractionated synthetic trans fats, just under that legal radar. Microdoses of trans fat gradually soak your arteries, hardening them and descrambling their netting. They fry their food in industrial seed oils that gradually decompose when they're exposed to constant high temperatures, breaking down into a variety of chemical compounds known as toxic aldehydes that attack cell membranes, disrupt proteins, and cause DNA mutations that can lead to chronic liver damage, heart disease process, or neurodegenerative diseases. They put an artificial antioxidant, TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroquinone, into that oil to keep it from going completely rancid after frying for hours on end. According to a paper published in 2016, McDonald's fries have as many refined AGEs, advanced glycation end products, as potatoes that are processed up to 20 times. AGEs cause collagen cross-linking, rigidity in the vessel walls, and literally speed up your body's biological clock. So what about the McNuggets? You could say chicken meat is secure. Now, look at the ingredient list of that batter. McDonald's uses sodium aluminum phosphate as a chemical leavening agent to keep the nugget batter light and crisp. One box of 20 pieces can expose you to more than 2.8 milligrams of aluminum. For context, one of the most comprehensive epidemiological studies ever conducted in France showed that drinking water containing only 0.1 milligrams per liter of aluminum was directly associated with greater risks for cognitive decline, as well as dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The concentration of aluminum in that study, however, pales in comparison to the 28-fold difference found within a single box containing just 20 pieces. Should you choose to wash those nuggets down with a dessert, brace yourself for, and maybe mentally prepare some firm resolve against, potentially the most sinister thing on this entire menu, the caramel frappe. Caramel frappe contains 70 grams of added sugar. That's the equivalent of nearly 2 days, about 1.5 times your recommended daily limit, in just one drink. It is just a liquid crumble cookie. Drinking your sugar rather than eating it means that your liver is immediately inundated. Large-scale population studies reveal that a 5% rise in added sugar intake is correlated with as much as a 23% increase in all-cause mortality. Most shockingly, that lovely gold caramel color in the frappe is full of 4-MeI, 4-methylimidazole, a chemical byproduct from production, which has been identified under California's Proposition 65 as a possible human carcinogen associated with lung tumors in rodent studies. What about, rather than a frappe, you have an Oreo McFlurry? That high fructose corn syrup inside that ice cream combines to create a tissue aging, AGE, 8 to 10-fold more rapidly than does plain glucose. And so, let's talk about the most neglected thing of all, your gut microbiome. To make their sauces, pickles, and processed cheese shelf-stable for months on end, you can bet McDonald's is using industrial emulsifiers and polysorbates. In your gut, these emulsifiers are like tiny detergents. They literally shred your gut mucosal lining and induce intestinal hyperpermeability, or leaky gut. When your intestinal barrier is leaky, these bacterial endotoxins can pass directly into circulation and set off chronic low-grade systemic inflammation all over the body. Which brings us to the classic internet experiment. Why don't McDonald's hamburgers decompose? You have probably seen videos of people pulling out 10-year-old McDonald's burgers from a cupboard, and they look the same today as when they were bought. That's not magic. That's crazy chemical preservation. Cooking at a high temperature causes immediate moisture loss from the thin patty. Now, add that desiccation with extreme levels of a chemical element such as sodium and antimicrobials like the contaminant additive sodium propionate to produce a food matrix so lifeless even mold, fungus, and bacteria could not live on it. If these microorganisms are not interested, then why do we eat it? Now, you must ask the obvious question. If this stuff, however bad it is so biologically destructive, then why do hundreds of millions, nay, billions? Because, well, that is well known, weaponized neuroscience. Food scientists design fast food with a concept called the Bliss point. It's the precise mathematical ratio of sugar, salt, and fat depopulated in order to stimulate maximum dopamine secretion at your brain's pleasure center, without triggering leptin, the hormonal signal which tells your brain, I'm full. It tricks your evolutionary biology. You are programmed to hunt for the highest calorie density, and when your optics hit that bliss point, those satiety signals go dead in the water like hardcore junkies on red-eye flights trying to feign fixation, a low-key extreme sport mimicking ultra-processed food addictions. And they start brainwashing you from a young age. Ultra-processed foods now compose greater than 73% of the US food supply, whereas tolls for infant obesity have doubled within the past 2 decades. Happy Meals, toy tie-ins, and the primary colors of fast food marketing activate kids' neural reward pathways during critical developmental windows that lock in eating habits for a lifetime. McDonald's is not just a restaurant chain, but a hyper-processed distribution system designed to be as profitable, shelf-stable, and neuro-habituating as possible. They lure you with the sweet lies of convenience and instant gratification. But what they are not telling you is that the price tag on your indulgent food addiction is actually serious shit. In fact, metabolic health, for one, it robs from all these vital areas inside of us. The good news? Your body is remarkably resilient. Once you eradicate processed food, within a mere 14 days, your palate resets. Insulin sensitivity falls back into line, and the gut lining starts to restore itself. You don't need to suffer your place in the fake food matrix. When you see those golden arches next time, remember, at least now more than ever, what exactly is told up beneath that paper bag. If you enjoyed the deep dive, give us a like and subscribe for evidence-based analyses on everything else fast food related. Stay sharp, stay healthy, and I will catch you guys in the next video.